I want you to show me your best rear naked choke.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Okay. I mean, it's pretty tight.
This is the OBAs podcast, the King's podcast.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Thanks for gifting me some of your time to talk today.
It's okay, yeah. It's okay. I try. I see what I can do for you.
Yeah. I was checking our past episode.
Yeah.
One thing though is that you are my first repeated guest ever. Yeah. So thank you so much for granting me your time again. Yeah. But I was checking, how long ago do you think we recorded our last episode?
Maybe I would say 12 months ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought about a year.
Yeah.
But it's actually more than a year.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
You would look like, so it's obviously not 3 years. How long you think?
I'll say 14 months then.
Yeah, it's actually 21 months.
No. So we weren't
It's almost 2 years.
we weren't married at the time.
No, we're not married.
So you've had about the Obas podcast for 2 years.
I think I've had this show now for 2 years.
That's wild.
It doesn't feel normal.
It's like,
It feels just like yesterday.
yeah.
And you were episode 3, and when I checked, it was in October of 2023. That was when we had that episode.
Yes. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, so much has happened, so it makes sense. But just thinking about it isolated, like the podcast, I would have said like 12 months.
Yeah. A lot has actually happened. We won't have so much time to dive into a lot, but one of the things we did last time was a movie episode review or a movie season review.
Yeah.
Do you remember the show that we reviewed?
Top Boy.
It was Top Boy, yeah. And yeah, that was a while ago. That was really cool. I'm thinking we keep up with the same team, right? And we do a review of a show that we've watched recently.
Yep.
I've seen the past year we've seen so many shows. A couple of them have been a waste of time.
Absolute waste of time.
A couple have stood out. So today I would like to get your insight on one show particularly. It's a show that a lot of guys, or it's a type of show that most guys don't watch. And I'm sure that people already have an idea what I'm watching this year. So it's one of all those couple type reality TV show kind of things.
Okay.
And so I ideally, like, as a masculine mind guy, like, guys, I don't watch things like this. I'm
That's
the most macho guy you
That
ever.
is a lie. That's it. You don't start watching it, but you get invested in the drama eventually. Or when you hear things like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you had sex with me, and now you're sleeping with my sister." But my goes,
Yeah. That's like, those are the points.
And then you see him coming closer to the TV, and that's how I always pull him in.
Yeah, so I think the drama definitely gets to me. Another thing that gets to me is when I see relationships that are toxic, or maybe a relationship where someone is being gaslit, or a relationship where someone is making grave mistakes, quote unquote, and I begin to like, what's going on? Why is people doing like this?
Relationship expert.
So exactly. So I
think 1 year of marriage as
So I'm not a guru. Like, every issue that you have, just bring it to my table.
Right.
I will help you to
don't
figure it out. I will. And that's you're going to do some of that today.
Do not.
On Sneaky Link. But before we talk about Sneaky Link, like I said, we've seen a couple shows in the past 2 years. One thing that I really appreciate in watching a show with you is I'm usually blindsided by some things, and I really value your input, especially as a female, in a lot of shows that we watch. But Sneaky Link aside, what shows in the past year would you say have stood out in some way?
The one out of my head, definitely Substance.
Substance.
It was
Okay.
was a weird movie, but there was so much metaphor for life. Yeah.
Yeah. That is
Just
true.
like the review before we watched it, like there's a lot of POV. So the person that advised us, I'm going to give the same advice: don't eat while watching it.
That is very true. Do not eat while watching Substance.
It's just a lot of
Yeah.
ASMR,
It's very visual. It's very,
like I hear.
you hear very tiny details, and they're almost intentionally disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a good show.
It's a good show. Yeah, it's a very good show. So on that one, I want to get what would you rate?
I'm not a movie expert.
You're not an expert. Okay.
I don't know, but I would say for me it was a good 8.
It was a good 8. Okay. I will have some pictures of this show, like, for you guys, but I want you to know the IMDb and Rotten Tomato rating for Substance. Okay.
I will fight.
But I think I did check because I've looked at some of these shows, and I think Substance had an okay rating on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. So you give it an 8, right?
They give it 7.2.
Yes. So IMDb's rating for Substance is 7.2.
I can live with that.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. Now, Rotten Tomatoes. So they have the tomato meter and the popcorn meter. I believe the tomato meter is the critic audience, the critics, and the popcorn meter is the audience. So Rotten Tomatoes, 75% by the audience, and the critics, 89%. So that's like an 8.9 and 7.5. Okay. How would I rate it? I think I would also give it a very solid 8. I really liked it. I like the metaphors. I like the idea of, the reincarnation. Should we actually, do you want to give or should we ask ChatGPT to give a plot review of Substance?
No.
Okay. But it basically had a lot of almost like reincarnations. It was like this girl.
It was reincarnation. It was a metaphor about loving yourself. It was also a life metaphor of wherever you think your situation is, there's something that can be worse.
That's true. That was one thing that stood out.
Make lemons out of what you have. Otherwise, those lemons can become very rotten.
Yes. Okay, let's move on for Substance.
Before we start reading actually Substance.
Yeah, let's not dive into
just go and watch it. You like it.
Okay. Another show. I need 3. So what's another one?
Another show. I did not like Severance.
Yeah.
As much as I think you liked it.
I really like Severance.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I feel like it went nowhere. And I hate when movies do that to me.
Season 2, the way they wrapped it up maybe went nowhere.
The beginning drew me in, but afterwards it was like, where are we going?
Just on Severance, I'll give you the IMDb and Rotten Tomato rating on Severance.
Really?
IMDb gives Severance an 8.7.
It was a lot of nothing.
And it gives Rotten Tomatoes, I think the audience rating was 79%.
Interesting.
Yeah. I liked Severance. I liked it. Season 2, I think the end, the last 2 episodes,
it was good, actually. It was good. It was just, it didn't go anywhere. And I like to put a bow on things, so they didn't do that for me.
Let's give another one more. You? Oh my God, you. You is one of those shows that had people in circles for a long time.
1, 2, 3. The third one that was my best. The one
Season
with
3 was
his wife.
Okay, the one we love. Okay.
I love when he found his match. You think you're crazy? I'll show you crazy.
Let me see. I don't know what Rotten Tomatoes gave you, but let's see.
If they stopped on season 3, I'm sure they would have had a good rating. But 4 was a waste of time.
Yeah, 4 was. I think 5 got interesting. So IMDb's rating of you is 7.6. So that's fair.
This makes sense.
And Rotten Tomatoes, so the audience gave it 70%, and the critics gave it 89%. It would be interesting to see what they give it season by season, though. I feel like for you, it's like a couple seasons in between. Like season 2, I was like, how are we going to make this work? Because after season 1, I'm like, how do you continue with this?
They did.
And
it got better.
And then it got better in season 3. So I was like, maybe season 2 and season 4 they can throw away. And then keep 1, 3, and 5.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good, but it's just that we always slept off.
Yes, we actually. Oh my God.
There was always a build up.
Can we actually spend a second to talk about how some shows are just like sleeping pills for us?
Yeah. You was as much as like it's a serial killer movie, thriller, it was lullaby.
Yeah.
Okay.
One other, before we jump into Sneaky Link, I think one notable mention, when you talked about shows that had kind of like no ending, they didn't kind of wrap it up properly. I think one show that we watched that falls into that category is From.
Yep.
Yeah, that movie upset me so much.
And they went from wherever they were to nowhere.
That movie upset me so much.
For no reason.
Like, think about Sinners and think about
Sinners ending after 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But that 30 minutes was like actually 3 days. And it just ended 30 minutes before like they were able to build anything.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, okay, so why did that? There were so many questions. Like I had so many questions in the end than in the beginning.
Yeah, From was so annoying, and the plot of the show just upset me so much because I'm just like, you guys find out a lot of things and you don't use it. It's like you're all dumb in this town. So like the quick synopsis of From is there was this town that once you get into, you couldn't get out of the town.
But someone got out.
But someone like
then she came back.
Yes, there are so many holes. Like there are so many things around.
Like God forbid. As soon as I'm out, I'm off to Nigeria. Let me see how they'll get me back there.
I was so not a lot of.
Or she got out and then she started looking for the dad.
She got out and she was more smart when she was on the outside.
She was looking for the dad of someone that was there. I'm like, where?
She got out and then she got on a stupid rat race for shit that was not like what the hell? You have tons of lives stuck in a stupid town, and all you can do here is look for somebody's father.
God forbid.
Like you can't even get the word out. You can't put stuff on flash drives. Like set this up that
Bola,
okay.
Ariyo. Ariyo, I'm not getting the word out. I'm getting myself off. I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to leave my mother's house. Let me see how any stupid.
So you're saying like once you're out, you're cutting yourself off from all that. Like you're not trying
for anything that can put me
get you back there. But I think she had her kids. What was her situation?
Our kids and her husband were there.
Okay, yeah.
How did you get them out?
Yeah.
You didn't know how you got there.
She just ended up getting herself back stuck rather than really.
And she had no answers when she came back. Everybody was mad at her.
Like rightfully so.
Yeah. So
rightfully
did you call for help? No.
Okay, let's
sorry.
pause. Yeah,
was just,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Just a lot of pent up anger. Let's not talk about that movie.
I understand how you feel because you rouse me up as well. Let's get into the juicy stuff.
Okay.
Sneaky Link.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think it's Sneaky Link, the
After Dark Hour or something like that.
Yeah, Dating After Dark. That's it.
Ooh, that show upset me.
That show got me shouting. I was shouting. But Mama was wondering what happened because I was the only one watching. I was like, Bola, come and see.
Let's start with the setup and the cast. So talk to us. So what's the show about? Like I said, it's all of this reality style stuff.
I'll make it quick.
Okay.
anyone that's had like a fling before, they basically find the person you have had a fling with and yourself, and then they bring you into the house to see if there's any more connection to explore more than just one night stand, right?
Yep.
So eventually, after some people got coupled up, then they started bringing like fresh bloods into the house, and those fresh bloods obviously were disrupting the relationship people already, the connections that people already formed. Also, I like to add that nobody went for their sneaky link.
Okay.
Nobody went for like the person they were familiar with. Everyone went for someone new.
Okay, so the setup was they brought a couple of people into the house, both male and female.
Yeah.
And everyone in the house had someone that they had hooked up with in the past.
But you couldn't have been the person to choose your person. Like the show picked out those people for you. Okay. I don't know how they're able to do that, because how they just randomly know the person that someone has had a fling with.
Yeah, I had an issue with that setup though. But let's give them benefit of that. However they got it out. They brought a couple in the house. They brought people that they've hooked up with in the past. Mm-hmm. Just one hookup per person, but it wasn't that they were in a relationship. This was just a fling.
Yeah, situationship.
A situationship, okay.
Booty calls and stuff.
And the idea was you bring these people to the house and you get them to find out if they still want to pursue stuff with each other, or if they want to pursue a quote-unquote connection with other people in the house. Okay. So that was the setup. Once I see that, in my opinion, I'm just like, this is just a soup of disaster.
It was a recipe for disaster.
Like, this cannot go anywhere. It's how I saw it.
I mean...
Okay. So... I think it started with...
It's not as bad as some other shows I saw after.
Yeah. I think one of the things that intrigued me about this was the fact that one, it was people that they had hooked up with, which I'm blaming them for as a disaster, but it was interesting to see that, this is...
But nobody went for their person.
Yeah, so it's like, so when they asked them to build connection with people, none of them picked...
Yeah.
Whoever they had hooked up in the past, they would pursue a relationship with new people in the house. So for me, which is why I said disaster, it's like, so you're pursuing a relationship with someone that you know like is capable of having a fling, or someone that is capable of doing something quote unquote sneaky. So I was like, is that like the best set of people to try and find a relationship? Is that the best soup to pick from?
I mean, all of them,
because the idea that they cheated, right? Because they were with other.
It was not cheating.
It wasn't cheating.
It was just that they were single, but they were probably sleeping with someone. Yes, okay. But they had not formed a stronger connection. But all of them during their interviews coming into the show were saying they were actually looking for love.
Okay.
That they haven't just found someone that they connected with in that way. So the show was trying to prove that, maybe if you were not giving your cookie away the way you were, maybe you will find connection. But yeah, so that was the whole point of the show, like trying to make them like
kings and queens. This episode is brought to you by Pepper Them Messier Spice. Let's talk about flavor. You know how sometimes food can be a little bland and you're not feeling that spicy kick in your food? I've got the perfect solution for you. Introducing Pepper Them Messier Spice. Straight from the heart of Nigerian street food culture, this spice is carefully sourced to give you the authentic, bold, and peppery flavor that will elevate everything you eat. Trust me, I take this everywhere I go. I add it to everything. Beef, pasta, rice, noodles, and yes, even to my water. Whether you're cooking at home or enjoying a takeout, Pepper Them Messier Spice will take your meal to the next level. Order your pack today at pepperdem.ca and use the discount code OBA to get 20% off your order. Spice up your food, guys. You'll love it. All right, let's get back to the show. Let's go, guys. Mwah. Love you guys.
But yeah, so that was the whole point of the show, like trying to make them like think deeper about the connections they were making rather than just jumping into
just hookups. Yeah. Okay. the show seemed to have a very unique.
It is, but at the same
Lineup.
time, what would have made sense is if they claim one of the hosts was a therapist, but I never saw her actually give genuine advice on how to like navigate your emotions. She gave some.
But I saw some time when she was like,
She gave some nuggets here and there.
Yeah.
It was not that. I mean,
there were points where she was just maybe be assertive, like, oh, you have to
she
do the
was.
connection with someone in the
I feel like
house.
she was here for the drama.
Yeah. I saw her taking notes. They never
Yes.
told us what
Always
she,
taking
like, she was
notes.
always
As far as
writing
I'm
things
concerned,
down.
I think I saw the same paper.
True. Okay, let me run you through the list of the couples,
Okay.
right? And I would like you to act as a relationship expert, even though you're not.
Oh God.
I'm very sorry.
Disclaimer to all the guests.
Yeah.
I am not a relationship expert. I am not a relationship expert, but am I strongly opinionated?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm looking
let's
for.
go.
That's all I need. I just need you strongly opinionated. So
Is this my opinion? It's just my opinion, Mrs. Ariyo. That's it.
So we'll go through we'll go through the couples that formed, like the pairs that formed.
Okay.
Some of them turned out to be successful relationships, some turned out not to be. But I'll just run you through a list of about 5 pairs that formed in the house, and I'll get you to give your 2 cents on them, and then I'll tell you kind of where they are right now, at least based on what I checked online.
Wow.
Yeah, where they are, like in their relationship right now.
Okay.
So I'll start with Zoe and Travis.
I'm trying to remember their faces. The two
Yeah, the 2
black people.
black beautiful couples.
I
This is
think
them.
they'll make it.
Yeah.
They didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't make it.
Yeah.
They didn't make it. They're still together.
Yeah.
What did you think about their love story, or not their love story, but how they kind of like?
I had a problem with the guy
Yeah.
because he already knew that he liked her, but he was pursuing 2 women at the same time
Yeah.
until another guy came, and the guy was very assertive about her, and the guy was like, I want you, I'm here for you. The guy was cooking, was doing all the
Yeah, that was Corinthians.
yes. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Corinthians.
But Corinthians was a little sauce.
We'll get there.
She wouldn't get there.
But he did his job.
Yes, he did. Let's breeze past that.
Well,
Yeah.
let's breathe past that.
Yes, queen.
Corinthians was giving Yas Queen a little bit, but it was too pretty. Yeah, it was so pretty. I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. If you say you're straight, okay. Yes, Queen.
Please, back to Zoe and Travis.
Okay, Travis and Zoe. So the Travis already liked her, but then was pursuing another girl. I think my unprofessional opinion is that he's a boobs guy, because it was the 2 women.
He's my kind of guy. Just based on assessment, I mean,
As I was saying,
yeah,
it was the 2 women with
that were loaded.
with the endowments that he was just pursuing until Corinthians came into the house and went straight for Zoe, and Zoe was already kind of falling for Corinthians because she was like, I didn't have this with Travis. Travis, every time we talk, he says he likes me, but he then gives this spiel about like he wants to make himself available to everybody. For now, he's trying to get to know everybody, but Corinthians was like, I'm not trying to get to know anybody. I want to get to know you.
Yep.
As soon as Travis said that, Baba could not sleep again.
Yes, sir.
He could not sleep. He could not slumber.
Restless nights.
That was now when like their connection got stronger. But at the same time, I still appreciate the maturity on his part to still pursue, because he still did it the right way. He made everybody know that. And he had the conversation with the other girl right off the bat that I had a stronger connection with Zoe. I'm going to pursue her, blah, blah, blah. And I could see the connection. They were always laughing. They talked about deep stuff. Unlike the other couples, they were talking about how to actually live outside the house. Yeah.
Okay. I actually also really liked their relationship. It was really cute. When Corinthians came into the picture, I felt it was a good metaphor to like real life.
Why do men do that? I'm going to ask him on behalf of you, on behalf of us. We need to know why.
It's not men. I think it's just real life. Like that's what competition does. Like if it was just
So, are you telling me that? If I'm going to see what our marriage looks like, are you telling me that if someone cooked shit and you didn't want that shit before, but now that someone is willing to eat the shit,
no. I see where you're going. You don't have to be
now
like that.
suddenly you want to eat the shit.
No. That's you have
to be competitive on
now. Let's
shit first.
let's flip it a bit. Now, just imagine you went to an ice cream store and you're trying to figure out between strawberry and vanilla, and you were honestly really, really trying to make up your mind.
Okay.
And you were torn. Then someone else comes to the picture and then the person picks vanilla. So it kind of just like sweetens. Maybe I'm not saying this is how it happened for Travis, but it kind of just sweetens the idea of the vanilla. Oh, so now the vanilla now is like a bit more enticing than when you were torn in between this vanilla and strawberry.
Can I see that? Yes. Will I ever be that person? No. But can I see how like human psychology can lead you there? Yes.
Yeah. So it's just one of these things. When you realize that there's the chance of something actually maybe going, then it kind of hastens you to actually grab onto the one piece. But again, it can also just be, what's the word? Maybe men being domineering. It's like
that's what I'm asking you. Like, why are you men like that? Because because if Corinthians went for the other girl, would the story be different?
Yeah, like would he have picked her if Corinthians?
I'd like to see an alternate universe where Corinthians went for the other girl.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's the thing. Once it happens like this, you never know.
Yeah, we don't know. But let's give it to them. Their love story is flourishing, so good on you guys.
Love it.
The next couple is this couple, Colt and Angelique.
They can't make it.
They can never make it.
Did they make it?
No, so they actually didn't make it through the show.
I take it back. Maybe I am an expert.
No. It was
relationship expert.
It was easy to coming. But they started so beautifully, Colt and Angelique, and they ended up so miserably.
Oh, Colt and Angelique, not even Colt and...
No, not Kelsey, not with Kelsey. I know you thought it was Kelsey.
Oh, okay.
No, this is Colt and Angelique. So this one in the show, like...
They didn't make it on the show.
They didn't make it on the show, yeah. It crumbled.
Okay.
And,
they put me through a roller coaster.
Yeah. This is one of those moments that really drew me to the show, and I think it was the same. They were like a draw for a lot of people, but for me, I just felt Angelique needed. Maybe she needed the show, but she's someone that definitely needs like maybe relationship expert. Like she needs someone to yeah. I don't want to say therapist, but I just feel like she's saying that she needed some coaching. Like because she's so much, and
she's so pretty.
She's so pretty. She's so hot. She sounds intelligent. She's
so pretty. She stressed me out so much.
She looks like one of our mutual friends.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that? Okay.
Swipe.
Yes. Okay. Colt and so this one is easy. It's like they should never have been together. Like, and especially with Colt. Colt was definitely not the one for Angelique. So okay, that's easy.
Colt is not for anybody. He belongs to the streets. Like,
okay, let's quickly finish Colt. So the next couple is Colt and Kelsey.
They are not together.
Yeah.
Colt belongs to the streets. Even if you put Colt and Jesus, and they will not be together. Well, Jesus for everybody, but you get. I'm just trying to make a point.
So it's like you're saying, like Colt cannot be born again. Like
he can. But I'm just trying to make a point.
Yeah.
That he belongs to the road. Leave him there.
no lies to it. Coach just needs. I feel he's a very good-looking guy.
He's very fine.
He's very fine. He sounds okay.
That boy is very pretty looking.
What they didn't tell us his profession though.
Probably fine boy.
Honestly, it's not such a. It's working great for him so far, but he probably needs to be single for maybe a bit more time. And
but do you know how old Colt is?
He's pretty old. I think he's like 31 or something.
Yeah. Right on the spot. That's 31. The way he's behaving, you think he's 22.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah, because
apparently, guys, you need to kiss someone to find out if you have a connection.
Yeah.
I just heard it for the first time. You need to squeeze a little booty before you find out if you have connection with someone.
When he was making those statements, I was just like, really? So it's the kiss that will help you find out if there's a connection. Not you talking to the person and we'll be going out on dates. It's when you kiss
and then after you've kissed the person and slept with the person, then that's when you now find out what the person's religion is. You're like, oh, sorry.
And did you see the kind of kiss that he needed to...
Our values don't align.
The kiss that could kiss to figure out whether there was a connection. Do you remember?
Which one?
Cool. That kiss.
I was screaming on my chair. Stop!
I'm just like, fam. This is.
But again, it showed that I was very passionate about. I could not sleep while I was watching it.
Yeah, exactly. This was
kept
not.
me at the edge of my
this
seat.
one, we don't
was
sleep
cold.
on this one.
So I thank him for a good show.
Yeah, he performed. How did the Gen Z guy say it? He gave what he was supposed to give.
Yeah, he gave what he was supposed to give.
Okay. Let's move on to our next couple. This one is a little interesting. Manny and Avery. Do you remember Manny?
I do. Are they still together?
So I think they left the show together.
I know they did leave the show together, but I don't think they'll make
based on my CIA research so far, they're still together.
It's a lie. It's for the gram.
You think it's for the gram?
I don't know. I'm just joking.
Yeah. What thing that I would like to maybe I'll say commend Manny because he was very brave in doing that. Do you remember the love triangle that he was stuck in?
And do you remember how he addressed it?
Yes, I remember how my boy addressed it.
I mean, nobody
literally told the other person in love triangle that she's dumb as
and like, that's the person he's with now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's why you. I don't.
So I would just say, for someone that likes to give people a benefit of doubt, maybe he's just bad with social interaction.
Yeah.
But I did not like how he handled like the beginning when he was pursuing two girls and telling them the same exact thing, and then whenever one does not pick, he's going to call the other one. By the end of the day, when he decided to change, he started acting well for Avery. For me, there's no coming back from it. But then I'm a Nigerian girl who are known to be
I would actually give it to him though that he did, especially like.
And it was Avery that came back to him.
Yeah.
After he pursued...
He kind of stepped away. He stepped away. Nicole V or whatever.
Yeah, after he pursued Nicole V, and that one said that she does not see... and she doesn't have anything deeper, he left the situation to be whatever it is. It was Avery that came to him. So,
yeah.
Maybe.
And he kind of he came correct afterwards.
Yes,
the whole time.
But in the beginning of the show, he was giving bad boy.
Yeah, in the beginning of the show, he had a lot of bad boy vibe. Yeah. But once Avery came to him and...
I still think they...
You still think it's for the gram?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll see this. I don't want to put sand in their relationship.
Okay, let's not put sand.
I'm rooting for you guys.
I'm rooting for them too. Yeah, they're cool. The last couple. This one,
another couple.
Yeah, there's another couple. I don't. You weren't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this as well. But I found out. I don't know how true this is. That Logan and Angelique are now together. How do you feel about that?
That's good for her. I think Logan is not a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I saw on the show, or what he portrayed, or what Nicole made us see, the part of it that Nicole made us see of him on the show was that he didn't have his life together outside the house.
Like he didn't have that stability, I think they called it.
Yeah, she said she literally said, I'm looking for stability and you cannot give me that. So that would suck for Angelique if she has put herself in that kind of pot again.
Yeah. I actually really like him.
But in terms of like, of course you like him.
Yeah.
He seems like a humble guy.
Yeah, he's
like
my type of
just
guy.
playing with the vibes, the
He's a
suffer, just living on the
guy.
island.
He will blow. He will get his life stable. He's
Hey,
going
man,
to blow.
I'm rooting for him because he's a nice guy. He's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
The sweet guy is like he's like a pet. But at least he will not be breaking Angelique's heart.
Yeah.
They will live happy.
And that I think Angelique deserves so much because she actually looks like such a soft and sweet girl.
Yep.
That like her with a heartbreaker is just so painful to see.
Soft and sweet, but with a tiny dash of insecurity.
Angelique, please, we are rooting for you.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay, girly.
motivated. I'm sorry.
So I think that's about to be sneaking in.
Really?
Yeah.
That was easy, but now I don't know. I'm sorry. If that was too harsh. I'm sorry. I'll dial you back next time.
No.
Let me know if I'm too harsh.
Guys, let us know if she was too harsh. But I think you did a good job. You weren't too mean to anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you did a good job.
We'll see.
Okay. Let's move on to something a bit more interesting. Something that I like.
Sure.
Something that I like.
Oh God.
Are you scared? Let me start with this question. How do you feel about the fact that every once in a while, maybe when we're home, I drag you into some sort of jiu-jitsu position?
I'm tired of it.
You're tired of it. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think given that you don't do any sort of training, it is my responsibility to make sure that you're able to defend yourself. How do you feel about that?
I agree.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I hound you in this house.
I agree.
And I always test your resolve. So in some way, like, you should be paying me, or what's the word? Compensating me for consistently adding value to your self-defense lifestyle, or your self-defenseless lifestyle, I should say.
You're so funny.
Because in my head, I just think about it all the time. I mean, when I'm bugging you actively, like in the heat of the, let me call it scramble or rough play, maybe I'm not thinking about your self-defense in that moment. I'm just trying to mess with you or get your attention or just rough play. But in the grand scheme of things, I think that you have unintentionally gained a lot of martial art experience just by being in the same space with me every once in a while. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to test that theory.
Okay.
The last time you were here, if you remember correctly,
Ankle lock.
yes, it was ankle lock.
Yeah.
We tested your ankle lock technique.
Yeah.
I would like to think that in a year and
21 months, you said?
Yeah, 20 months is a year and 8 months. So in about 2 years, I want to assume you've learned a lot.
From watching you guys, maybe.
So not from the rough play. You didn't learn anything from the rough play.
I know a few things.
Okay, so today I'm going to test, or we will be testing, your rear naked choke.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think your objective is to... No, I'm not going to ask you to put me to sleep. I'm not going to go to sleep, guys. But I'll let you...
But that's up to me, though.
Wow. So you really think you can put me to sleep?
If you give me your neck, yes.
Yes, I'm not... There's actually no bargain. If I give you my neck, you will put me to sleep. But I want to see your rear naked choke.
Okay.
I'll say I would like to see details. Like, I'm going to ask you about the details afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. But this to me is my very little way of saying that I think you have been a good rough playmate so far. I really appreciate you accommodating me in the house whenever I decide that you have to be my muse. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see this.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, right now. What do you think? To the best of your ability, I want you to show me your best rear naked choke. Oh, okay, let me put this in front of me so that by the time I'm dying, I'll have something that captures the moment. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, I mean it's pretty tight. So what are the things that you're thinking about when you're trying to tighten the choke?
I'm thinking my elbow has to be directly under the chin. Has to be directly under the chin.
Okay.
I'm thinking I want to put my arm on my other inner. What's this place called?
Elbow, like the crooks of the elbow.
Yeah, the crooks of my elbow.
Okay.
And I want to put this back.
Okay.
And I want to hide this hand here.
In the back.
And then I want to put my neck on it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then I can squeeze.
Okay. Okay. I think that's amazing. My eyes.
Sorry. Take.
Yeah, actually, thank you. That's why I have this. Okay. So I think I can be rest assured that if somebody, a burglar, gets in the house, I can go back to bed. I just know that my wife is in control.
If a burglar gets in the house, I'll push you outside the room and locking the door.
No.
No.
I'm putting you right in front of the guy right away to handle business. Okay. I'm actually impressed. I think that's pretty good. All right, Boo Boo. It was absolutely amazing having you on the pod. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
I love you too, baby.
Mwah.
This is the OBAS podcast, the King's podcast.